Hello everyone, welcome to this week's video. We are going to play around with this burl. I've got to clean the bark off of it. This one's going to kind of be special to me, and I will explain that a little bit later in the video. So let's get straight to work. Clean this off. We are going to put this with some epoxy, and yeah, let's get at it. As you can see, this is going to take a while, so I will bring you guys back whenever I get this all cleaned up. Okay, so I've got 3 different, a pink, deep pink, rose red, and white. I may put in some raspberry, depending on how my colors mix up. Deep pink. Here we are over at the lathe. We're ready to give her a spin up, put her in a shape. It looked like it casted okay. I don't see any problems yet, but that doesn't mean there isn't some deep inside. So I'm not sure what shape I'm going to go with yet. For starters, we're just going to see if we can get her back true round, and then I'll go from there. I haven't even decided what's going to be top and bottom. Got to take some of this epoxy down a little bit, and then I will decide. Okay, let's get spinning. Okay, let me show you. I was out hunting for treasures the other day and was at a little, I don't know, junk store. Yeah. Anyway, I came across this. Not sure what it was. You can tell it was originally attached to something there, but it is in rough shape. The coating is coming off. It does have a little bit of weight to it, but you know, I'm sure it's just, I don't know, some kind of, I don't know what it's made out of. It's some kind of metal. But I'm thinking about using this as a topper. The shape of it just, I don't know, appealed to me. So I took just a little waste block that I had around. I am going to put some double-sided tape on it, and then I am going to get it mounted like that. try to get it as centered as best I can. I probably won't be able to get it centered completely with that being cut in that shape, but yeah. So then I am going to do some sanding on it, see what I can do to kind of clean it up. Like I said, there's just some of these bumps where it's peeling and is corroded off. Yeah, we're going to give a little play with this to see if I'm going to use it with the piece, because that's going to make a difference on what shape I put it in. All right, let me get some double-sided tape and get this put on. Well, I shouldn't have used such a coarse sandpaper on it early on, because I do still have some scratches in it. But I will bring that back down and see if I can get the scratches out. I haven't decided if I'm going to use it or not. Undecided. Let me get something else. I'm going to have a play around with these chrome markers. They're a high gloss liquid chrominum. I don't know how to pronounce it. Anyway. Let it dry. If you can't tell, I am gonna make a box. This is hose clamp. I'm sure you guys know what hose clamp is. It's where, you know, anyway, I like the looks of that. And this is what I'm thinking about doing. Thinking about putting a band of hose clamp around it as a decoration, because I think silver and pink go well together. And we'll see how light this wood comes out. And I think for, you know, my finial, if I'm able to use the piece I had earlier, I'm still letting it dry and seeing if I can fix it. If not, I've got a couple other options, or I will turn a finial. Okay, I'm gonna do some quick sanding, do some CA filling, and then we'll part it off. I'm gonna wipe her down with some denature alcohol and put some sanding sealer on her, and then proceed to use the CA glue. You guys get the sneak peek of what she's gonna look like. But shinier and prettier, hopefully. Okay, I gotta let that dry for a little bit. It's not meant to be anything but a protective coating to make sure I don't get the CA staining. And yeah, that's what that's for. So Okay, now for the scary part. I've got my metal hose clamp cut the right length. Now it's about gluing it on. I want the epoxy to shine through, so I really don't want to get glue up in the one glue where I don't want glue, basically. Oh man, I measured twice. Yep. Right there. There's a little bit of a seam, but that's just going to happen. Can't do anything about that. So now I'm trying to decide. I'm thinking CA. I'm also trying to figure out exactly where I want the seam to go, because the wood is pretty too. Thought about maybe having it close to where one of the epoxy spots come up, but I don't know. So that way, if it's pretty rigid, so it'll be hard to, say, glue one side and then go on with the other, but that's what I think I'm going to try to do. I'm going to start out by, I'm going to use medium CA. Fingers crossed that I don't mess this up. Fingers crossed that I don't have a flying lid. Oh, no. Good night. Now I gotta glue that back on. Why would you do that? Dang it. Alright, let me get it glued back on. Oh, no. Never even dreamed that that would happen. There's a little bitty piece missing, of course. Did I get enough of a dovetail? I just needed to go a little bit deeper is what I needed to do. Let me hear, see if I'm going to hear cracks. Let's see if I can get it centered. Yeah. Can I trust you? Huh? it and see even where I'm at. Okay, I got quite a ways that I have to go in. I just didn't want to overshoot it. All right. It's going to take a while. I probably won't show all my times of trying on. Okay, we're going to quit pushing our luck. I am going to sand, and then I'll just kind of sand that little nub off. And then I've got to wet sand. So you guys have seen that with the actual bottom of the covered dish. So I will bring you guys back whenever we got the bowl back on the lathe and the lid fit in it to finish the top of the lid. Anyway, you'll see whenever I bring you back. Alright, so I've had to place the lid in the cold jaws because of the metal ring. I had intentionally wanted to use it as the rim for the bowl or the lid to set in, but I didn't think about whenever I turn it around, I typically would put that lid on here, put it between in the jaws, and then have this so I could finish shaping and doing whatever I needed to do. But I felt like it was too much pressure down on this, that it was going to pop it loose, and actually I tried it out and it did a little bit, so I've got a little bit of repair to do and glue it back together. So yeah, I've got to fix that, but to be able to move on with the lid, I'm going to put it in the cold jaws. Mainly sanding is what I'm just going to have to do after that little chip piece kind of broke out whenever I was trying to get the other side done. I'm going to cut this open a little more to fit the finial on it. It's got to open up a little bit, so that'll take some time. Anyway, I'll show you a little bit of that. I will probably put a little bit of CA in those spots. Give it a good sanding and a wet sanding, and then I'll bring you back in a little bit. So here we are at the end of another video. What do you guys think about my pretty and pink bowl? And what do you think about my inspiration? Well, I've got more than one inspiration. So we'll get on with the first inspiration, pretty and pink. This is the month of October, and it is a breast cancer awareness month. And I am a 15-year survivor of breast cancer. And it's not something I talk about a lot just because it's something that I went through. I do believe it made me stronger, and I do believe in getting screened. I was 42 whenever I got diagnosed. If I had not had my screening, things probably would not be, I may not be here today. So I want everyone to go out and consider getting screened. If you haven't, that's my personal journey. And yeah, so let's move on to the bowl. My second inspiration was my finial. And then there was the hose clamp. Every time I turned around, there was something else that I was adding to this bowl or lidded box or covered dish or whatever we want to call it. I wasn't even sure. I knew I was going to do the pink for October, and for me, being the 15-year survivor, I knew I was doing that for this video. I just didn't know I was going to be incorporating this and this. Those came a little later. The finial came from the store. I'd already had my piece poured, and I hadn't started turning it yet, but the day before I started turning it, I was at this like flea market junk store and came across the finial. I didn't even at that point, whenever I seen it, know that I was going to actually incorporate it into this piece. I just knew I liked the shape of it. It spoke to me. And it wasn't until I got back in my shop and was looking at it and looking at the piece, and I'm like, I think I can. I think I want to. And then I opened a drawer looking for something and came across my hose clamp. And there you go. Here I am with this design. The one thing that I would like different about this is I would like the finial to be shinier. So I have not actually glued the finial down to the lid yet, because I think I'm going to try to paint it or something to get the same shine as the hose clamp. I tried, you guys could see the chrome marker by Less Resin. It brought the shine, but I just couldn't get it applied smoothly enough. And then I went on to, I tried some rub and buff, which I didn't show in the video. I tried several things, actually. Had it back on the lathe several times and did several things, but it just, I couldn't leave everything that I did with it in the video because we didn't need a 4-hour video. But that's where we're at now. It just, like I said, doesn't have quite the shine. So, like I said, I have it just double-sided, double stick tape down so I can do the end of my end shots and everything, because this video won't make it out in time. I just had to do it that way, but I will fix it later. So yeah, like I said, I think it turned out pretty good. Let me give you a look at it, a little close-up look at it in the camera over here. The color separation and the depth, you know, it's just really hard for a camera to pick up the depth that you can get from your epoxies. But this one has a lot of depth to it just because of the different colors. You know, you just can't see it in the pictures. It is cool. Here's the bottom. Had a little epoxy spot right down here on the bottom of it. The Burl is gorgeous, you know. Let me see if I can get the lid off without yanking the finial off. So here's the inside. Pretty cool. And here's the inside of the lid. So yeah, I think it's turned out to be a pretty cool piece. I want to tell you guys thank you for stopping by and watching my video. It means the world to me. I also want to say a special thank you to my subscribers. If you haven't subscribed, jump on in and subscribe. It helps my channel grow. And the people that leave the comments, you know, I enjoy reading everyone's comments. Some of them I can't help but smile from ear to ear. They brighten my day. Some of them can be tough, but that's okay. I'm all right with that. Also, the ones that just inspire me to keep doing my videos. Some people just have a way of lifting you up. I'm going to put her in the picture box. I want you guys to have a great day, and we'll see you on the flip side.